mates, Pathfinder Pete here, and I'm just running a few little experiments here, trying to discover something new about God's amazing world. Did you know that everything in the world is made up of these tiny, itty bitty little molecules and atoms? These things are so small that you can't even see what they look like, even if you put them under a microscope. Now, that's not the only thing God has created that we can't see either. Take, for example, the wind. You and I can't see the wind. What we see is what the wind does when it blows around. Another example would be gravity. We can't see gravity, but we know what happens when we fall over or drop something. This month's virtue, mates, is all about faith, which is believing in something you can't see because of what you can see. This whole month, we're going to be taking a look at how God has made us and He loves us, yet we can't actually physically see God here with us. But even though we can't see God, we can see what He's made and what He's done, and that helps us have faith in Him. Let's jump over and find today's Bible story right now so we can learn even more about this. Right, mates, so today we're going to dive into this virtue of faith by talking about one of Jesus' first disciples. We're going to take a look at the story of when the Apostle Peter was called to follow Jesus. We're going to find his story in the book of Luke. Now, Luke, you remember, is the third book of the New Testament, so it'll be towards the back of your Bibles. You most ready to find it? Now, remember, if you're having a tricky time finding the book Luke, take a look at the table of contents, which is right at the beginning of your Bibles, and you can find the page number. You most ready? Let's find the book of Luke. Here we go. Right there. And now we want chapter 5 of the book of Luke. Remember, the chapter numbers are the big numbers on your page. So chapter 5 is going to be, right, let's see, there's 4. There's 5 right there. And our story is going to start right at the top of chapter 5 and verse 1. You mates all have it? Luke chapter 5 and verse 1. Fantastic. Well, mates, I'll see you next week. Keep on believing.